like that. Ooh, okay, there we go. So as I come to you, we're gonna, eventually get at the stuff called church. But as I said, I believe that God will build His church, and He'll build it out of disciples. In America right now, there's a huge focus on disciple making or discipleship, and a lot of the conversation is going back to how do we get people into Bible studies and how do we get them into church and that type of thing. And I don't think anything is bad about that. But what if a disciple is actually somebody that learns to live their human life like Jesus lived His human life? What if He didn't just come to die for sins, but what if He actually came to teach us how to be more human? That's what I think discipleship is. And for instance, the Apostle Paul will say, look, I've been crucified with Christ, so it's no longer I who live, but it's Christ who lives in me. And so the life I now live, I live by faith in the Son of God who gave His life for me. And so Paul realized that to be a disciple or to be a follower was actually to take on His life, or let Jesus live His life through him. He actually said, as a pastor, he said, look, I'm going to stay and hang out with you guys until Christ is formed in you. And we know that Paul, or I hope we know that Paul was not just saying, I'm going to stay with you until you have all the doctrine and theology of Jesus. I think he was actually saying, until the way that Jesus lived His life is your life, then I'm going to keep sort of overseeing your spiritual formation. There's another scripture that says it's Christ in us that's the hope of glory. So the hope of the world, the hope of God for the world, is literally the more of Jesus becomes your life. So to me, that's a disciple. A disciple is somebody that knows a lot of stuff. I think a disciple has to know the Bible. I think that a disciple has to be concerned about issues of inner life, holiness. But a disciple also has to learn how to live in the world like Jesus lived. And if Jesus was a friend of sinners, then we have to learn how to be a friend of sinners. If Jesus showed up and had no judgment, then Christians need to learn how to actually walk amongst other human beings without judgment. And so I think we're going to have a lot of fun on that, talking about how to actually become a disciple and help other people to actually take on the human life of Jesus.